Today's rant is brought to you by people who are trying to sell me their book or their webinar or whatever about how to make my business boom. And they're like, you don't need a ton of money to start. Okay, one woman's post was literally, check this out, you don't even need a lot of money to start. And then she lists $2,700. $2,700? I could change my entire life with $2,700. Everything in my store only costs, I don't know, $1,500. I've never even had that much money in my life. And I don't know what scale these people are living by, but I want in. And I think a lot of them don't realize the layers of their privilege, which is mainly why I have to tell you a lot of those, watch my free webinar or download my free book or whatever. Okay, so that your book can have 20,000 downloads on the records so that when you try to sell it, it'll look like it's worth more. Just saying. But yeah, I had to crawl out of a literal gutter to start my business. I started it with money I made panhandling, and a friend gave me $40. Another friend, who I might say was living in a camper, he wasn't doing that much better than I was. So yeah, it's really getting annoying to watch all these people try to sell me my dreams when they started way beyond where I'm able to be. And if I could just be where they were when they started, I think I would qualify myself as successful. I would quantify success with that. I would not be like, oh yeah, you can do it too. And the reason that I don't tell other people, oh, you can start a business, is because, like, well, part of what helped is when I moved back in with my mom, and not everybody has a parent, and I recognize that that is a layer of privilege specific to certain people, and not everybody has it in their power to do. I did start my store before I moved home, but having a place to stay to keep my crafts dry and safe and clean was important. And without somebody just giving me for free a place where I could just be and have all my things, I wouldn't have made it anywhere. So really, good friends, don't fuck people over, don't be a dickbag. Keep good friends. Not all of them are ever going to be in the position to help you out, but by golly, the ones that are will give you the shirt off their back. Not that you don't have a shirt on your back. I'm not going to assume anything about you, but it's silly to me that so many people are trying to sell this idea of, like, oh, just do what I did. Go down to the country club and steal a wine glass and sell it for $32,000. Like, what? Our lives don't consist of the same factors that your life consisted of, and we have very different ideas of what broke means. When I have to tell my kids that, no, I can't buy you that thing because I'm broke, it means I might have enough money to ship the order that I just got in, but I don't have money for a soda. I don't have money for a soda. So, like, if you have money for a soda, if you've never spent a day without going to Starbucks, then you have no right. You are not qualified to give anyone business advice. I revoke whatever illusory qualification you thought you had by trying to sell me my own dreams. First of all, that's what you're in the market for. That's what you're in the business of. You're in the business of selling people a possibility. You're going to give them the knowledge, and with that knowledge, they can do everything they've ever wanted. Okay, no, you're robbing people. You're essentially robbing people, unless you do checkups with your clients after a certain amount of time and see, like, hey, are you applying these business techniques? Is this working for you? Because if you're not interested in how well it actually works for other people, then you are robbing them. You are selling a disservice. You are selling them false hope. And that's not okay. You need to stop taking advantage of the general public with this illusion of, oh, if you do what I did, you could be making 6 figures a year. Well, you know what? I'd be happy with 4 figures a year, 5 figures a year. I think 4 figures a year, that's a 1 and 3 zeros. I made that this year. That's possible. If I could not make $1,000 I made $1,000 this year, guys, and I feel like accomplished for doing that, because I didn't have to panhandle it. I didn't have to go stand in the sun for hours with a sign. I didn't have to sing on the street. Well, I did sing on the street for some money, but that was because I was in Vermont stranded, and I really didn't want to lose my store. I didn't want to start over again. So I hustled, and when I say hustled, I mean I flew signs, I sold my crafts on the street, I did all of these things, I sang on the street in order to make enough money to ship all of my craft stuff, made and supplies, down to my mother's house here in Florida, so that I wouldn't have to start all over. I didn't want to lose my progress, so I spent $200 at the post office. But you too, if you follow these tips, can panhandle up $200 in 2 weeks to ship all your stuff down to wherever you have to ship it. That I can guarantee. Actually, that only works if you have talent musically. If you, I don't know, it probably helps that I was a woman, but I'm sure men make money panhandling too, because I have a lot of friends that do it. But, yeah, you can panhandle, you can fly a sign, I'm pretty sure you can do it. You have to be aware of the psychology of the people that you're flying to, you have to be aware of your demographic, you need to hone up your marketing skills, but you too could be a successful panhandler, and sometimes I wish that I was still on the road, because if I were on the road, I could easily just panhandle for whatever money I needed, and it wouldn't be taxed, and I wouldn't have bills, but now I have bills and all this stuff, and I don't have the freedom to just go out and beg, so it's like, okay, I'm trying my damnedest, I'm doing it, I really am, I'm gonna get there. Someday, I might make 5 figures. Someday I might make 5 figures, that's real. I actually want to pay taxes, is that weird? Like, that's not a normal goal for people in my situation, I don't think, but like, I have received a lot of public funds, and I have received a lot of help, and I do want to give back to the system that helped me, and there are a lot of things about the system that I don't like, but my non-participation in it is actually one of those things that I don't like about the system, so it's really weird that, yeah, I would love to pay back all of my debts. I would like to pay back that several $100, actually it's probably a couple grand, but debt I owe to the Department of Education for the school that I went to, the college that I got conned into going to when I was way too young and schizophrenic to be conned into going to school. They took advantage of me too. They sold me false hope. And yeah, that's not what I sell. I might sell a bunch of useless cosplay problems, but it's real. At least what I am selling is real.